And we are live.
Finally.
Let's see. Yeah. So let me open also.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I'm opening the event also on
Seems to be
LinkedIn.
working.
Oh.
So we are live 100%?
Yeah. And yeah, we're live 100%.
Awesome. Just a couple of minutes to see if everybody joins.
Yeah.
I
If
guess
they can hear us, see us.
Yeah, the event is online. I can see it on LinkedIn.
Hey, Rajkumar. I'm really bad with names pronunciation, so I'm sorry for that.
Hey, man. Thank you for joining. Thank you.
Hello.
So it seems that is working, right?
Yeah, we have
Awesome.
Ryan.
Hey, Ryan.
Hello.
Thanks for joining. True heroes here joining on a Saturday. Sunday. Hey, Varum. Hey, Katarzyna. Amazing. Shout out to Katarzyna. That is our technical checkup.
Oh, yeah, we have a lot of people. A lot of people are coming. I'm just moving the slides. 1 second to make it match. Okay. So, Patrick, I put my presentation. Okay. Hey, guys, thank you for joining. We already have a few people online. Can you let us know if you can hear our audio very well? You can see everything correctly. Just drop a yes. Thank you, man.
Yes, we
We're going
too.
to try our best.
So should we start in 05 or in 03?
Yeah. Let's wait until 05.
Okay. So let's see. We have Aviit, Dave. We have
Okay.
Moise.
Yeah. Katarzyna is letting us know yes.
Everything is all
right.
right. Amazing.
Ryan told us a yes.
So I think we can give it a start because 205, like, I mean, people can join later. It will be okay, I guess.
Okay.
We are getting started.
Great. So let's go with the introduction. Okay. So thank you everybody who has joined us for this event. It's our free webinar together. Took a few weeks to plan it. So I'm a bit nervous, I must admit it. So in case you listen, see some mistake, just forgive us. It's our first webinar. Thank you for being here again. So before jumping into the presentation about technical SEO auditing, I just want to do a quick introduction about who we are. I will start with the introduction. My name is Artur. I am sorry, I cannot pronounce it with the English accent. Arthur. It's too complicated for me, so just call me Artur.
Hey, Arthur, are we, 1 second, are we doing the presentation as well? Because I don't see the presentation.
Yeah, I just launched it. Okay, yeah, let's launch it now. Great. So I'm an SEO content strategist. I've been doing SEO for 4 years now. Before I was doing just Amazon SEO, more Amazon SEO. Now I'm doing purely SEO. I've been working with these beautiful guys since February 2024. I'm based in Finland. Originally, I'm from Ukraine. I've been living in Italy for 20 years, but now I'm in Finland, where I managed to start this beautiful project with Jairo and Patrick. So from my side, this is it. Jairo, wanna jump on the introduction?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for the intro, Arthur. Hi, everybody. My name is Jairo. I come from Ecuador. I'm currently based in the Netherlands. I started doing SEO not straight from SEO. My background is technical. I'm a software engineer. And then I jump into marketing. And then I realized that technical SEO is a big part of SEO, which is also a big part of my experience. That was around 10 years ago. Now I'm helping companies with content and technical SEO, and looking forward to give this presentation a go with these two machines that are with me, Patrick and Arthur. Thank you very much for doing this together. And that's about it. That's it.
Okay, so Patrick, go ahead.
Yeah, so I'm Patrick. I'm doing SEO for the last 7 years. I started with technical SEO for a couple of years, and then I moved to content. So now I'm doing both. I worked with a couple of agencies in my time, and now I'm working with those two beautiful people on our own projects. And yeah, it's really exciting. It's good to be here with those two. And yeah, I'm Polish, and I come from Poland. I currently live in Poland, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you.
Great. So, guys, thank you for the introduction. Let me move on to the to a quick overview of the meeting of today. By the way, Jairo, you had a beautiful compliment by Usman. Yeah, he knows
Cheers,
how to do
Usman.
business with mustache. So yeah,
Appreciate it.
let's. Our presentation is going to be divided basically in two parts. The first part is going to be delivered by Jairo, and he's going to provide you a strategic overview of technical SEO audit and the business impact that a well done SEO audit can bring to your business. Meanwhile, the second part is going to be more focused on tips, tricks, examples, and they're going to be explained by Patrick. His part could be much bigger, so we try to condense everything into 1 hour of presentation. So if in case we have missed anything, just forgive us, but keep in mind that we're planning other webinars, and very likely we're going to have the chance to introduce this in the next webinars. Last but not least, at the end, we're going to leave you as much space you want for the Q&As. So don't hesitate to make any questions. We're going to be more than happy to answer. At the end, actually after this event, we're going to pick one company, and we're going to have to give a free SEO technical SEO checkup. So how to have that checkup? Just direct us, DM us, and we're going to tell you more about this at the end of the presentation. So stick with us till the end for the Q&A. We're going to be more than happy to answer your questions. The intro is done. Abhijit, you can ask questions in between at the end, but you can start dropping questions while we are talking. So I guess this is it for the introduction. No more questions, and we can start with the part of Jairo. So the stage is yours. This is your presentation, Jairo. You can go ahead.
Awesome. Oh, thank you very much, everybody, for joining. First of all, hey Arthur, by the way, can you remove the comment? Like, otherwise, I cannot see the
Wonderful.
presentation.
Yeah,
Awesome.
right.
Cheers. So thank you very much for joining on Sunday to do this look on technical SEO audits. It's a huge topic, so we are trying to condense everything within 1 hour, which is pretty much not possible. We will go quite quickly. I will go quite quickly. We think that the most interesting part is the questions, so please drop your questions, and then we will try to focus there much more. Why we are doing this technical SEO Power Hour? Basically, we have a lot of topics that we could talk about. This very webinar could be different webinars, so we didn't know what to choose first. So we asked our audience, and most of you chose for a technical SEO audit webinar. So that's why we're here. And we will go through what is a technical SEO audit, who is it for, how you can categorize kind of the tasks that you need to do for a technical SEO audit, and how to implement it. And then Patrick will go a lot more in depth into that. But before we go all the way into that, sorry, I think the presentations are a bit mixed. Before we go all into that, I wanted to give a big, a short introduction to what is a technical SEO. And this is my own definition, so please don't take it as the right definition. This is just me saying this. So technical SEO, as a broader concept, is any technical aspect that will enhance your website visibility on search engines. And there are many layers into it. I made this infographic and I posted on LinkedIn. So there's the layer of HTML and CSS, which is the most basic one. Then we go to enhancing customer journey with JavaScript snippets and very beautiful um, features in the website. And then we go to backend programming, and that can go down to data processing. So it is a very, very broad topic. We're trying to focus on the first two layers in this presentation. Now we go one before. Sorry for the messed up presentation. So for who is relevant technical SEO audit? Pretty much for everybody, regardless of your business, regardless of your niche, size of a website. Technical SEO is fundamental. And obviously doing audits regularly to make sure that you find the issues is also fundamental. But just to make sure that everybody gets this straight, there's absolutely no CMS, there's no website, there's no plugin that comes SEO ready. No matter what they tell you in their marketing, you need to build your own hierarchy. You need to create your own qualitative content. You need to try to do the implementations without many plugins and without many apps. That means that you need to optimize in the end technical SEO, regardless of which platform you use and regardless of what they say, how ready they are for SEO. Who gets most impact, business impact from doing technical SEO? We believe that it is most impactful in large websites. I take this graphic from Aleida Solis that was based on a graphic from Mark Williams Cook, which pretty much relates to what technical SEO, why technical SEO is important for organizations. So the bigger the website it is, the most important is to have technical SEO right in place. For example, e-commerce websites, websites with user-generated content, think about Reddit, marketplaces like Amazon, uh, websites of retail brands, large blogs, and not to forget how important it is for website migrations. I've seen many businesses to lose pretty much everything to a bad website migration. And the technical SEO setup for website migrations is not that difficult. It should be pretty straightforward. But if you don't have it in place, you had a huge risk. So these are the ones that will benefit most from technical SEO audits. So I'm going to tell you what is not a technical SEO audit. Technical SEO audit is not one of those automated documents that are provided by any tool. Regardless the tool, they are not technical SEO audits. Why is that? Because they are just a checklist of issues. There are hundreds of pages. Some of them are a bit shorter. There's no categorization of the tasks. There's no prioritization based on business impact. It's just a huge list with the issues that the crawlers of these tools have found. You don't know how to fix them. You need to actually do it yourself. There's no solutions for it. There's no roadmap. There's nothing. It's just a list of issues. And I'm not saying that those issues are uh, mistaken or anything like that. I'm just saying that that is not how an SEO audit is, technical SEO audit is performed. A technical SEO audit pretty much delivers business results. The, the issues that you tackled is not sufficient with only understanding them. You actually need to understand what is the roadmap of having those issues fixed. So a good SEO, technical SEO audit has a categorization of tasks based on business impact, which will give you a priority, and of course needs to be paired with instructions and solution roadmap for it. That is a technical SEO audit, something that has an impact in the business. The execution is fundamentally important for success. If we give you a fantastic SEO audit, technical or content, and there's nothing done afterwards, the audit is pretty much useless. So don't stay in the audit. Don't just request audits for the sake of it. You need to request an audit to make sure that you can have some leverage of execution afterwards. Let's start with the categorization of tasks. So here we take a small pause because now we're going to talk about what things you might know already, but we're going to increase the complexity of the issues that you might tackle as long as we pass the slide. So the most common issues that we encounter in any SEO audit are 301s, chains, pages with photo fours, canonical pages that do not have the right URL in the canonical tag. um, Sitemaps should be set up correctly. The robots.txt file should have the right directives. Pretty much the basic. I guess that most of SEO professionals know these technical issues, and they're pretty basic, and they should be implemented and fixed in any website, regardless the size. This is an example of the report of the crawling statistics of the Google Search Console, which pretty much helps you to tackle some issues, but in the end, you need to know how to fix them. So those are really regular, basic categorization of tasks that we need to take care of. Then we move forward. And now we go to structural issues. In the SEO audit, technical SEO audit, you need to also include layout issues. Many people do not include them. Not sure why, because it's a fundamental part of first, proper crawling, usability, and conversion. Other issues that we can include in this group of tasks could be rendering issues, making sure that the website is correctly offered to users and crawlers, and also internationalization. So making sure if you have an international website, all the href tags or attributes are set correctly. So in this example, I'm not going to show you one that is directly SEO related. I'm going to show you this one, which is layout related, which is still SEO. In this slide, we see that this was a client from us, and this is the layout that they had. It's a web shop that sells tiles. There's no title, there's no breadcrumbs. This is the mobile version, which is pretty much what we focus on mostly. The layout was not appealing. There's no price. There's no buy button. So let's say that we work in a fantastic content strategy. We send every user into this page, and what happens later? They don't convert. They won't convert. So what we need to do in order to fix not only SEO but also conversion is to make sure that we implement the right breadcrumbs that are pointed to the right category. So we build and structure hierarchy in the hierarchy. Yeah, we build the right hierarchy for the website. We have the titles here. We have the image, price, buy button. So everything with the naked eye, the user can buy. So then it makes sense for us to actually acquire more users. Acquiring users for the sake of it doesn't make any sense either. So this is an example of how layout optimization is part of the technical SEO audit, which is sometimes people that don't include it in the technical SEO, and it can have an impressive impact because it affects thousands of pages at once. This is another example from our website here in the Netherlands. It's a very well-known web shop. At the left side, we see 600 links, which is quite a bit. But in order to not increase even more the amount of links, when you click on the menu to see all the subcategories, then lazy loading will happen. So this is more implementation here. And if you see here, if you expand the menu, you will have around 1,000 links. And if you have it rendered without those links, you will have 600. So there's an increment of around 40% of amount of internal links, which is something that might cause crawling exhaustion, even though 600 links is quite a lot already. And this one I will skip because it's very similar. It's just pretty much making sure that the subcategories or subpages are linked within the same content area or content cluster, and we don't list absolutely every single page every single time, because that will just exhaust crawlers and crawlers won't find relevant content. If you don't do that, you can have something like this. You can have one page, eventually, let's say that's the category page or the category of the articles or whatever page might be, and then all of the pages link into that one. So here, there's no hierarchy. There's no way that Google might understand which groups of content might have a better priority or not. This screenshot is from the Screaming Frog when we were crawling Prospect, and we saw that the whole website was not there's no category, there's no sections, there's nothing there. So it will be a waste for Google to crawl everything to try to find at some point some query in some page. This is the way you want to do it, by making structural implementations like the right navigation, implementing the right internal links, implementing the right breadcrumbs. You can have separated sections of content. As you can see it here with the naked eye, it's very easy to understand where are the different types of content. So it's easy for you, it will be easy for Google. And this topic is a lot broader than the entire presentation. So I'm just going to give a small introduction. Patrick will go to it as well. But pretty much you need a fast website. The core web vitals are a ranking factor. So you need to make sure that your website performs well on that matter. You need to make sure that the website has as least plugins as possible, that you provide a good cache for the server, that you provide a lazy loading experience, so you don't load the crawlers with all the images or resources as soon as they land. So pretty much you need to optimize your code to make sure that you offer the best experience possible, because that is a ranking factor. The core web vitals became a ranking factor a while ago. If you want to have more in-depth information about it, go to the RAM Vision website. Shout out to them. They are very knowledgeable. It's a tool that helps you to monitor core web vitals. And we wanted to highlight the fact that their articles are extremely loaded with knowledge. So go there if you want to know more. And what about the implementation and the execution of an SEO audit? So again, we need to have a business impact. An audit is meant to bring profits to the business. So therefore, you need to work closely with the person that is going to execute it, as well as the person that is going to drive the strategy for it. Everything needs to have a business impact. So don't randomly choose tasks to execute them. You need to execute tasks based on the performance that they will have in the business. And you can start even a pipeline, a parallel pipeline of work in which you don't need to have all the issues fixed for content, but you can start improving the content. So an audit can run independently, separate from the content strategy, even though both working together will be the winner. Don't panic if you see issues coming back again. You need to run audits regularly, make sure that the issues do not appear, the new issues won't appear. If they appear, you need to fix them. So our advice is that SEO technical audits need to be run every 3 months, every 6 months, to make sure that everything falls in place at the right time. Some examples of why SEO is relevant. Technical SEO audits are relevant. If you don't have a fast website, if you don't tackle it, your users will also leave fast. If you have JavaScript issues, your content won't be available. Same as if you have rendering issues, the crawlers won't even be able to find your content or offer it to users. If there's no internal structure through internal links, the website will be flat. So it will be very difficult to Google to categorize it. It's like if you go to a library with no sections or no shelves or anything. All the books are just lying down on the floor. And as a great SEO said once, that was Albert SEO Einstein, good tech SEO is the base of great content performance. If SEO was a car, content would be the engine and tech SEO the wheels. And I think that's it.
Great. So thank you for this first part, Jairo. May I just ask you to repeat the last quote from Albert SEO Einstein? It was very interesting.
Yeah, so good technical SEO is the base of great content performance. If SEO was a car, content would be the engine and tech SEO the wheels.
Okay,
So,
great.
Great SEO
So
was this guy.
Okay, great. Sounds absolutely meaningful. So thank you for this first part. To the audience, to wrap up in this first part, we gave you a first overview of what a technical SEO audit is, what is not, some general issues related to technical SEO and how to prioritize them to bring a positive impact to your business. Because at the end of the day, this is what matters, to bring impact to a business. And in the second part, Patrick is going to explain you exactly how we deal with these technical SEO issues along our audit. But before starting with the part of Patrick, I just want to quickly remind you, if you will have any questions, just start dropping them in the comments. I save them, and at the end of the session, we're going to answer every question you may have. So let's jump to the second part. Patrick, your presentation is live, so it's your turn.
Thank you very much, Arthur, for that. So with my part, I'll be going through particular areas of the technical SEO audit, and from on-page SEO to JavaScript SEO and everything in between. And especially, please pay attention into two sections about internal linking, mobile SEO, and web performance, which usually relate to pretty much all the sites and probably yours too. So hopefully you can make a use of it. So starting from the beginning with on-page SEO, why should you care about on-page SEO? On-page SEO is pretty much the bread and butter of every SEO strategy. When optimizing page titles, meta descriptions, all attributes, all of those major or basic markups. Some of them are ranking factors such as page titles. Some of them impact CTR, so click-through rate, such as page titles and meta descriptions. All of that is a part of technical SEO and can impact the traffic coming to your site and your position in search results. So how to analyze on-page SEO? To analyze on-page SEO, you should perform a website crawl using tools such as Hearing Frog, Sitebulb, any cloud crawlers that you can use, and check the titles, descriptions, headings, all the attributes, all the markups that you want to analyze in terms of on-page SEO, and look for missing markups, duplicate markups, and so on. For example, here you can see that this site, in terms of page titles, mostly suffers from duplicate page titles. And when we looked a bit more in depth into this website, we saw that the duplicate page titles are created on paginated pages because this is an e-commerce website. And here you can see that for the first category page, the page title is metal furniture. For the fourth paginated page, it's also metal furniture, which is a duplicate. And the correct page title should be metal furniture dash page 4 with the number of the paginated page. And with this additional fix, and by making this page title unique on pagination, we give Google additional signals that this page is unique and should be crawled, and pages or products that are present on this paginated page should also be crawled. This is a good, very easy fix to do. With the next section of the technical SEO audit is crawling and indexing. But before we jump into how to analyze and how to optimize crawling and indexing, we need to understand what is crawling and what is indexing, and the difference between those two concepts. To simplify it, crawling is just the act of Google visiting your page and trying to get the content, and the indexing is the process of Google adding your page to search results. Those two processes are not the same. So, for example, in Google Search Console, you can see reports such as crawled, currently not indexed, which means that Google or Googlebot visited your page but decided to not index it. So Google can still jump on visit different pages on your website, but it doesn't mean they will be indexed. And why should you care about optimizing those processes? Because Google needs to visit and index your page to rank it. If Google is not visiting your page, or if it's not indexing it, it won't appear in search results, and it won't rank for the target queries that you want to rank for. And the other aspect is the fact that Google has limited resources. Google has like literally trillions of pages to visit, and we want to help Google visit the most valuable sections and pages on your site as much as possible, and for example, block it from low quality sections of your site. This is the key of crawling and indexing optimization. So how to analyze crawling and indexing? The first thing you should do is to gather data, and you should do it by, first of all, crawling the site using different crawlers. You can analyze coverage reports from Google Search Console to check different issues that Google already is seeing while going through your site. And if you are capable, it's very good to gather server logs and see literally raw data on how Google is crawling your site, how Google is visiting, which pages are visited by Google, which should be visited, which shouldn't. And based on this data, you can establish where the Google resources can be wasted and what should be optimized. With this data, you should analyze crawling patterns, so see which sections are visited, which aren't. Check status codes, so all the 301s, all 404s, or error statuses, what types of status codes Google is seeing. You should analyze XML sitemaps to see if they contain valuable pages, or if they should some of the pages from XML sitemaps should be removed. You would analyze robots.txt directives, canonicals, and meta-robots directives to make sure pages that you want to be crawled are crawled, and that the ones that shouldn't be crawled or indexed are properly blocked. In this example, this is an e-commerce website that has filters with links that create thousands of low-quality duplicate pages with filter combinations. And just first of all, if you are working on e-commerce websites, please don't use links for filtering options, as they can cause a lot of crawling issues. In my career, I've worked, for example, with a large e-commerce website that, with this issue with filtering combinations, created, I believe, 2 billion pages for Google to crawl. And there were times where Googlebot was downloading, I think, 2 or 3 terabytes of data from the server just by crawling the site, and it was really really bad. So in this example, this is a very similar example where this e-commerce has links under filtering options, and with filter combinations, Google can crawl tons and tons of low quality duplicate pages. And to deal with that, you should block particular parameters or particular filters from crawling using robots.txt. This is the best way. If you already have this issue with filtering and Google crawling a lot of duplicate content, you should just block it using the disallow directive in robots.txt. And this is a good way to regain the control over how Google is crawling your site. The next area of technical SEO audit is internal linking, and this is what should you care about internal linking. This is very heavily connected to crawling and indexing, as Google tries to understand the connections between particular pages, and we want to strengthen them as much as possible with proper internal links. Also, with internal linking, we can point Google to valuable pages or to sections that are, for example, not crawled efficiently or not indexed. And of course, internal linking also impacts the user experience and conversions, because, for example, if you have a very good bottom funnel article that is gathering really good traffic and really good people, like users with buying intent. If you don't have, for example, a very simple or very clear call to action in the content or somewhere on the page for users to actually convert on your website or through this page, the lack of this internal link will impact your conversions. So how to analyze internal linking? And just to put it in the simplest terms, crawl your site and check the number of internal links coming to particular pages that you care about. If you care about products, check how your products are linked from which pages, if this can be improved. And to improve the internal linking, just look for internal linking opportunities. Look for what the sections that you currently have, internal linking sections, can be improved, or what sections can be added to the site. In this example, for example, this is one of the clients that we worked with. They had a very limited internal linking to pagination. This is a large e-commerce client. You can see that before, on the mobile version, they had just one link to the first or to the next paginated page on mobile, and after the changes, we added way more links. So before, Google had to pretty much crawl every single paginated page one by one, and after the changes, the crawling became way more efficient, which you can see here. After those changes in the internal linking, the number of pages crawled by Google spiked by 400%. It grew from around 75,000 HTML pages crawled to over 200K. And after this spike, the average number of HTML pages crawled every day pretty much also doubled, grew by around 50 to 100%. So we can see that just with this simple change in the internal linking, we pretty much doubled the number of pages that Google was visiting every day, and brought very good results to the client. Right now, they are indexing way more products. Google is showing way more rich results for products, and all of that had a very good positive impact on the site. The next section of the of technical SEO audit is mobile SEO, which from my perspective is one of the most neglected but also very important area of technical SEO, because usually people say that this is really simple, but also a lot of sites still suffer from many issues. And why should you care about mobile SEO? Right now, around 2/3 of all internet traffic is mobile. A lot of users are visiting your site through mobile devices. So if your site is not optimized well for mobile users, it will suffer from less conversions, from probably a higher bounce rate. All of those user metrics can be impacted because of that. And in terms of SEO, Google also is pushing or has a lot of pressure on optimizing for mobile devices. And since July 5th, so literally less than 2 weeks ago, Google mentioned that they won't index your website if it's not mobile friendly, if it's not working well on mobile devices. That's why you should focus a lot on making sure that your website is optimized well for mobile. So to do that, to analyze the website for mobile devices, and you should just analyze both versions of your site, so both mobile and the desktop, and compare the differences. Or like look for the differences between those two versions. For example, in the case study that we used before, the mobile version had just one link to the next paginated page, and the desktop version had a couple more. But because both users and Google is focusing a lot on mobile version, we highlighted that for the client, and we managed to make the differences way quicker, or like make the changes to the internal linking way quicker because of that. And you saw the results earlier, how it impacted the crawling. Structured data. Structured data is another area of technical SEO. Before we jump into how to analyze it, I just want to give you a quick introduction on what structured data is. Structured data is based on the Google's definition from the documentation. Structured data is standardized format for providing information about the page and classifying the page content. So to put it into simpler terms, structured data is just a simplified communication between your page and search engines. With structured data, you can tell Google or other search engines about what's the type of the page, what type of content you provide, all different information about the page that can be then easier understood by search engines. Why should you care about structured data? Of course, better click-through rates, as structured data enhances the visibility or the presence of your pages and search results. And also, as I mentioned, structured data also simplifies the communication between your pages and search engines. To analyze structured data, analyze page types that you have on your website. So, for example, if you are an e-commerce website, you probably have collection pages or category pages. You have products, you have articles on a blog section, probably all of that, and combine those page types that you have with the Google documentation and see which markups you can use on your site. So, for example, on products, you can use product structure data and see what type of attributes are necessary, which attributes are recommended. And by implementing this structured data correctly, you can present additional things in search results called rich results, such as stars, ratings, reviews, price, availability, as you can see here on the example from Nike. You can also use rich results test or schema validator to check if the implementation that you did, or the structured data that you implemented, was implemented correctly, and fix any issues with structured data on the site, on the particular pages. The next section, which is a long one, is site speed or web performance, which also Jairo mentioned, which is a very site speed is a very broad topic that we could probably talk about for the next 7 hours and never stop, and we could be pretty much just diving deeper and deeper into this rabbit hole. And that's why here in this presentation, I just wanted to go through some basics of site speed, how to optimize it, and why should you care about it. So as Jairo mentioned, site speed impacts the SEO, as core vitals are ranking factor, but also it's good to mention that web performance also impacts the user experience, because if users are experiencing a slow site, or your site as slow, it's a bad it's a bad experience, and it can later lower your conversions over time. And because of this bad user experience, it can with higher bounce rate or worse UX metrics, user metrics, it can also impact your SEO negatively. So, how to analyze web performance? There are two types of data you can gather in terms of web performance. The first thing is gathering real user data, which from my experience is way more important. You need to check how your site is performing in the real world for the real users on their devices, on their phones, on their connections. To gather this data, you should use tools such as Chrome User Experience Report or Trio.sh. You can also use other tools such as ROM Vision to monitor those metrics on your website. And based on this data, you will see where your site is suffering the most in the real world. And you can also perform speed tests to get more lab data, and using tools such as Page Speed Insights or Web Page Test. And with those tools, you can get some first ideas on what to fix on your site. But I wouldn't like focus or hyper focus on the metrics that are shown in those tools, and because those are just like test synthetic data, and just focus on real user data from other tools. How to optimize web performance. There's a lot we can cover with optimization of web performance, and maybe we can do another webinar just on this topic because there's a lot we can cover here. And here I just want to focus on three major areas, which are server performance, rendering path, and resource optimization. For server performance, the thing to remember is the fact that slow server performance impacts the entire loading performance. So here on the example, you can see that when the server performance started dropping, it also impacted first contentful paint, the largest contentful paint, which shows that it connects a lot with entire loading performance. To optimize server performance, the best way is to analyze how you create pages on your server side, to make sure, for example, you can optimize database queries and make sure that the HTML that is served to the user is created as soon as possible, and the server is not blocking the loading performance as much. You can also use site cache, you can use CDN, you can also improve server hardware. All of that can impact the server response time and the entire loading performance of your site. The next topic I wanted to cover is critical rendering path, which can sound pretty complex, but to put it in the simplest terms, critical rendering path is literally just the order in which you load particular resources on your page. So, for example, here on the screen, you can see that this is this Nike product page. The main image, the main product image, which is literally at the top of the page, is loaded as the 25th resource, so very late in the rendering path. And to make sure that you load that your critical rendering path is optimized well, check in which order you load resources on your site. You can use tools such as Web Page Test and see the order in the tool in which the resources are downloaded. Analyze which resources are the most important. So, for example, the main image, the key CSS, the main JavaScript that you need to render the content. All of that should be implemented or loaded as soon as possible. And for example, some third-party scripts or Google Tag Manager or something that is not as important can be deferred or can be loaded way later. The third area of web performance I want to talk to you about is the resource size. So even if you optimize the order in which you load resources, if the resource is still very large, it will be loaded. It will be loaded way later than it should be. And to optimize a resource size, check different resources that you have on your site. So images, fonts, text files such as HTML, CSS, JS, and make them as small as possible. For example, for images, you can load them in modern file formats, so AVIF or WebP. For fonts, you can use font subsetting, or for text files, you can use minification just to make them as small as possible. And with this, you will have small resources that are fast to load. And also, when you optimize critical rendering path, you will load them faster on your website. And with server performance, you will have a fast server response time. All of those combined can improve the loading performance a lot on your website. And the last area I want to talk to you about is JavaScript SEO, as Google is still struggling with rendering JavaScript in many cases, and that's why you should care about JavaScript SEO. And It's good to mention that JavaScript SEO issues can appear or occur on literally every website. You don't need to have a very large website to have JavaScript SEO issues. Google can like mishandle or mess up the rendering even on the smallest size. And if Google is not able to render your content, they won't see it and probably won't rank your site as well as it should be ranked in search results. How to analyze JavaScript SEO? The best way to analyze JavaScript SEO is to turn off the JavaScript in your browser and see what changes. For example, here, to turn on JavaScript, you can do it directly in the browser, or you can use like a Chrome extension for that. But here, for example, on Nike's product page, you can see that when we turn off JavaScript, the page shows just the partial content and a squished image. And when you turn on the JavaScript back, you can see this. So way more visualization, way more content, even internal linking sections to other products. You can see that all of that is pretty much hidden if the JavaScript is not rendered. And you can see that even large players such as Nike's can suffer from issues from JavaScript SEO. So how to optimize JavaScript SEO? Render major parts of the page on the server side. So make sure you render the major content. So, for example, the main product page or main content in the on the server side, and send the ready-to-go HTML with this content to the client rather than rendering all of this content on the client side. And it also applies to all the major SEO markups, so page titles, meta descriptions, canonicals, meta robots. All of that should also be placed statically in the HTML rather than added with JavaScript or changed with JavaScript. All of that can impact your SEO. So just to wrap everything up, what should be done after the technical SEO audit? You could ask yourself, is this the end of the job? Is just doing the technical SEO audit the end of the technical SEO on your website? And unfortunately, it's not. And to make sure that you benefit from doing this audit, we need to work on the actual implementations of fixes that are mentioned in the audit to actually fix the stuff that make your site suffer make your site suffer in search results. As SEOs, we usually also work together with developers on different workarounds because they can be we can find a lot of obstacles during the technical SEO optimizations. It's good to work together on workarounds to clean up all the technical issues on the site and to just not stop at the roadblock and not do anything else. And the last part, which from my end is the most important one, is the verification. Always verify the stuff that you fix. Always test if the fix is implemented correctly. If it doesn't create new issues, all of that, all tasks should be verified. What good technical SEO audit cooperation looks like, and the first thing is, of course, that the audit should be data driven. It shouldn't just pull recommendations out of automatic tools and say to fix something just because the tool says so. All recommendations should be dedicated to your site. You don't want to have a very general audit created from just copy pasted recommendations from documentation or from something. All of that should be very dedicated to your site, so you can also have simpler time with implementing all the fixes. All tasks should be prioritized. All tasks should be prioritized because you want to make sure that you focus on sites that, or on fixes that have the biggest business impact for your website. You don't want to hyper focus for many days or hours, many days or hours on tasks that are minuscule or that have no impact on your site. And just to double down, all tasks should be verified and implemented correctly. Always check always check all the stuff that you fix. And just a final note, this is pretty much what I already mentioned. Technical SEO is something that should be monitored on your website. It's usually not a one-time job, and the new issues can also appear on your website. And if they are, just react to them and fix them as soon as possible. And that's it from my end. Thank you.
Great. So we are at the end. Thank you for all this effort, both Jairo and Patrick. Thank you for everybody who is still with us after 50 minutes of explanation. So thank you very much. So at this point, as we said at the beginning, in case you think that your business needs a technical SEO checkup, just drop us a message. Choose wherever you want, either me or Jairo or Patrick. Direct message us, and within 1 week, we are going to pick one company to give a free technical SEO checkup. So you just need to drop us a message with this three information: your site domain, of course we need that, your niche where you are operating, and you need to answer also this question: did you do an audit before? So take a screenshot of this slide to don't forget about these 3 points, and we're waiting for your DMs. In the meantime, we have a big list of questions. So Jairo, Patrick, do you have anything to add, or can we move on to the questions?
Questions are always fun.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. So
Jump right into it.
yeah, let me open the comments. And forgive my name pronunciation, people, but I'm not familiar with some names. So the first one in the list is Abhijit Dave. What steps should be taken to rank higher when Google is promoting generative search results? I see many irrelevant results are ranking, but the actual helpful content is facing issue maintaining the position despite following EEAT.
I can take this one. Like, just in terms of technical SEO, all the basics are still important. So your page still needs to be crawled, still needs to be indexed to appear in generative search results. So in SGE or AI overviews, as they are called right now, I believe. In terms of the quality of the content, this is another rabbit hole that we could probably discuss like hours. But I think it's good to remember that AI overviews are a new inclusion to search results, and probably Google will be fixing it and improving it over the upcoming months. So hopefully, the more quality content will start appear more and more in this generative search results.
Okay.
Yeah, I think well, coming back to the EAT part, which is kind of in the words of in the mouth of everybody. We managed to rank number one client in the AI overviews, and we didn't do anything special. But that brand of our client is very strong. So even despite not having the perfect setup in terms of technical, we have still site speed issues, and we have also like some small 404 issues, like not very crucial or critical, but we don't have the perfect website, and we managed to rank number one for a very important topic for our customers. So it comes down to have a very strong brand. In the end, for Google, it's very easy to choose whenever you are already well known. So I guess that one, which is not a simple answer, kind of build a brand, would be very important the upcoming period. It's not only enough with backlinks or with having the best website. There needs to be something behind, and I guess that is the brand, which is one of the most difficult things to build in business.
Great. So I move to the next question, which is from Deepaka Jayaraj. I don't find it in the comments here on StreamYard, so I will just read it out loud. We'll do add sitemap for every page we'll do add sitemap for every page we published. We'll do add
Can you add
sitemap.
it in the screen?
Yeah,
No,
sure.
it's not on the StreamYard, I think.
It's not on, yeah, it's not on StreamYard because it was a comment on LinkedIn, but StreamYard didn't show it. So let me
Then
try
let's just do whatever we can do on StreamYard.
Okay.
I guess.
Okay.
We're using a StreamYard, by the way. It's a very nice tool.
Okay. Okay.
Live
So
sessions.
let's try to move to Ishak, which is how do I optimize my LinkedIn posts to appear on Google search?
The question is, why do you want to do that? Like, so if I understand the question correctly, if you can just comment if I'm wrong. So you want to optimize your LinkedIn posts so they become a search result on regular SERPs. If I understand that right, I'm not sure why you want to do that. Because in the end, why do you want to use LinkedIn is to be viral on LinkedIn. If something else comes down to that, will be fantastic. But do you do kind of parasite SEO? I don't know. I don't know at what particular moment I will do that. I would rather build or create amazing content to appear to build authority on LinkedIn rather than thinking about how to use LinkedIn to appear number one on Google. Just to me a bit complex. I don't have the answer, by the way.
Yeah. Well, I would add how to optimize my LinkedIn post to appear on Google search. Yeah, it's basically what you said. If you want to appear on Google search, don't write a LinkedIn post.
Yeah.
Just write a
build
blog
a website.
post.
Yeah. Rank it.
Otherwise, you will. It's very unlikely to make your post rank on Google search. I mean, but
even though I've discovered. Sorry, I got it.
Yeah, but for sure, if you write a killer post, you will go viral on LinkedIn sooner or later. So these are two different kind of efforts.
Yeah,
complementary but different. I would not just open your site, Isaac.
And by the way, that kind of makes sense because I've realized that LinkedIn creates two different pages. The one that is internal to LinkedIn, and I'm not like LinkedIn specialist on that matter, and they create like a crawlable page, and I don't know what is the intent of that. And so the content of the post of LinkedIn are actually crawlable at some point, I think. So I guess let's answer this question. So how do I optimize my LinkedIn post to appear on Google search? Write a lot. Right, like hundreds of LinkedIn posts. So the likelihood that you kind of will create a cluster of content and link between them. This question is getting interesting. Link between your own posts in the comments, because in the comments, I think LinkedIn leaves like 2 comments live for crawling purposes. I don't know how this works, but maybe you can do that. Like write a lot of LinkedIn posts and then link your LinkedIn post each other within the comments or within the same post itself. That maybe works. Kind of interesting question.
We
You,
have
Zach.
also Patrick, if you want to add something, otherwise we can move to another question of Ishak.
Yeah, I think we can move on.
Okay. Ishak is asking this: when writing blogs as a consultant, do hashtags still work? Jeez, I don't remember the last time I used an hashtag writing a blog post.
Yeah,
I don't even know that happened at some point.
Yeah, it's
I guess it doesn't.
yeah. I think if you have like a strong categorization, like for example within the blog, so you have like particular blog categories, you don't need hashtags. You just have a good categorization within the blog, and yeah, that's it.
But like hashtags, like literally hashtags, like what we do on LinkedIn, for example. Is
Yeah,
that
but
what?
I don't know, with the blogs, for example, like on WordPress, you can find like automatically generated tags usually, or like tag pages, and
Like the tags. Oh, okay.
I think maybe Isaac means that, and
Isaac, can you clarify if you mean hashtags or the tags? Because tag pages are completely different than just hashtags, like hashtag.
Yeah,
Because the
if
tag,
Isaac will drop a comment, I will let you know, guys.
yeah. So if there are tags, tag pages, they're very dangerous if you don't optimize them well. If they are hashtags, I don't have the answer for it. So I stopped using tags around 4 years, 5 years ago, like the tag pages that I created automatically by search engines, because I realized that usually those pages I cannot optimize the content. Sometimes they were duplicating the exact same content as a category page. They create a ton of programmatic, automatic generated content. So it was it is useful at some point, but it needs to be extremely well optimized to be valuable. Otherwise, you are just creating noise for your own website. That's what I think.
Wanna move on to the next question?
yeah.
Okay, we have Shaikat Rai, who is asking Screen Frog versus Sidebulb. Which one is your favorite tool and why?
Screaming
That,
frog.
Yeah, assuming that we use only Screen Frog, I guess Screen Frog is our best.
I like both, but I'm currently using a lot of Screen Frog. I used Sidebulb years back, and I believe it's just getting better and better. And I really like what the direction that Sidebulb is going into, like business wise and like feature wise, all of that. It makes sense for Sidebulb to implement all of that, and I think Sidebulb is can be like more user friendly compared to ScreenFrog, but ScreenFrog is really good if you like to like dive into data and have a lot of customization and all of that.
And if you have any doubt about Screaming Frog and you want to be convinced, I suggest you to follow one guy on LinkedIn. His name is Bill Goal. He shares very nice LinkedIn content about Screaming Frog. So check his profile out, and maybe you get convinced also by watching what he does with that tool.
Can you put it in the comments because I don't know him?
Oh yeah,
Please.
sure. I just pronounced it badly. Can I drop it on Bill? Go. Well, of course we know Bill. I dropped it in the comment.
Bill. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how to pronounce his surname, so
Yeah. So
either.
okay.
But yeah, of course I know Bill.
Yeah, if Bill is going to listen to this podcast, hi Bill. Hope you are doing well. So let's
Yeah.
move on to the next question
Hey, Bill.
by Shaikat Ray. Always. Do you audit log files for your clients? What tool do you use?
Yes.
Do you audit log files?
I
Okay.
do.
Yes.
I sometimes do server log analysis for some of my clients, and I use, for example, ScreenFrog log analyzer, which is really good. I also use KNIME, which is spelled KNIME, but this is a more of a data analysis tool for log analysis. But this is really good one. Yeah, I audit log files.
Why do you do that? Like I do it when I'm building a new feature, I'm fixing everything. If something is broken, I see it in the server log files. But why do you do it?
I do it for seeing how Google is visiting your site, because you can filter. I filter all the requests coming from Googlebot by like IP
Ah,
addresses, and see pretty much have raw data which pages are visited by Googlebot, and based on that I can get like even more in depth compared to what you have to in the Google Search Console or coverage report. You pretty much have raw data on how Google is visiting your site.
oh, nice. Okay. Never done it that way. Interesting.
Okay, before moving to next question, we have a beautiful message by Ahmad. Just want to ping it.
Hey, Ahmad.
Nice to hear, man. It's 1 hour ago almost, but still, thank you for joining us.
He's still here. He just dropped a question, I think.
Okay.
By the way, shout out to everybody that is still here. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, okay. So
everybody.
Meanwhile, I'm reaching the next question. Another message by Ahmad. Thank you for calling us diamonds. Much appreciated. So we have Shaikat Rai again. Do you use PRG pattern, post redirect jet, to limit URLs from being crawled by crawlers? How common this practice is?
I'm not using it usually, like at all for crawling exceptions. As far as I know, post redirect get usually is used for like managing form submissions on websites and to make sure that you don't have like multiple resubmissions and all of that. And I don't think I don't use it for limiting crawlers or like number URLs from being crawled. To limit that, you should use like robust TXT directives and internal linking, or like maybe hide some sections with JavaScript if you don't want them to be crawled, or some links with JavaScript.
Yeah. Yeah, like I've never thought about that, never used it. How common this practice is, I guess not that common, because either Patrick or I have used it. That doesn't mean that it is not a good practice, but if you want to limit the crawling, there are two options: that you don't want some pages to be discovered, so in that case try to remove the internal links from it, and that there are internal links that you need to have in the page but they still shouldn't be crawled, so use robots txt or any. Yeah, I think that will be the most common way to prevent crawling. But yeah, if the internal link exists, Google will crawl it, so try to just not have it if that's possible.
Okay. Hey guys, I have another question that is not visible on StreamYard, but this is very interesting and it's also very clear, easy to understand. It comes from Mana Sidhu, and it sounds like, how can AI impact SEO? Will Google algorithms be able to identify AI generated content or websites? Will it impact the ranking?
Yeah, I mean, this is something that Google and AI tools are in arms race pretty much. Both of them, like one is creating more and more like better and better content. One is trying to detect it more and more. So I believe at the end of the day, Google tries to, like, the goal of Google is to serve the best content they can. And if Google or if AI generated content will be good enough, or it can rank, but if it's not authoritative, or it's very generic, or it's not going in depth compared to other content that's created by experts in a given niche, I think focusing just on AI content can be a bad decision.
Mm-hmm. What I can add is that AI content generated by AI is getting better for sure. Even some great SEOs have shared recently some posts where they see that it's getting better. Even ChatGPT 4.0, which is not the best one for content creation. So sooner or later, AI content will be as good as humans, probably. But the point is that the AI content does not know, cannot describe, for example, a use case, or cannot describe you a case study, which is another way to describe, for example, how SEO can help your business. AI will do a list of things or data that are not endorsed by real facts. Meanwhile, you can do the same case study if you have, for example, an SEO agency and you want to write a conversion-oriented content talking about how blog content can increase sales, and you have done it for your client, you will write a hell of a piece of content, and plus you will endorse it with real statistics, real graphics that AI very likely will be unable to generate. So we have already adapted our strategies, removing the informational content from our service, because that is already delivered by AI.
Mhm.
It's not excellent, but AI is still able to answer what is SEO. It's absolutely able to answer this. So remove those queries, but you can still focus on those queries with higher commercial intent or transactional intent, and reinforce your content with real data, statistics, a good intro, custom infographics. So I hope that we answered the question of Mana Sidhu. Okay, so we let's move on to the next question.
Yeah, go ahead.
We have let me find it. We have Lito Dennis. Here it is. Lito Dennis is asking, from a tech SEO perspective, how can I prioritize my website content and optimize it for AI, GPT tools, and AI overview features?
Just a note, by the way, I think just to cut it short because we are 1 hour and 15. Maybe we just answer questions that were asked just right before 5, because otherwise we won't ever
Yeah,
get out
yeah,
of here. Just to make sure that that there's a limit somewhere.
yeah, yeah.
So from a tech SEO perspective, yeah.
I have the last question that we had before 5. Is the question 16. So we still have 7 questions to address.
Okay. Should we cut it short, the answers? One person each? Just to make sure that we can. Can I go to this one because I didn't answer the previous one?
Go ahead.
How can I prioritize my website content and optimize it for AI, GPT, and AI overview features? Again, please don't try to just rank in ChatGPT or in AI overview. Just try to build a great business, find a great solution, no, build a great solution for a big market, um, find the right customers that you need to serve, and then everything will fall down. Like, don't try to rank in a to make your strategy to rank in a place specifically. Just try to build a great business, and then as a consequence, you eventually will have a great positioning. I haven't positioned anything in GPT yet, so I cannot give you any advice on it. I with Arthur, actually, we have a case that we ranked number 1 for a crucial query for our client in AI overviews, but that was not a consequence of us wanted to rank in AI overviews. That was it was surprising to us to see that it worked. It was not. It was not a strategy for us to rank there. For us, was we want to deliver the best value to the potential customers of our client. We created a content, an article based on that premise, and because of that, we ranked number 1. We didn't want to rank in AI overviews at all. That happened. That's all I can say.
Great. So let's move on to Rash Kumar Joshi. His question is: after the recent update in Google Algo, the SEO is being changed. What would you like to say on this, and how can we increase the web traffic from backlinking?
I don't understand what do you exactly mean by the SEO change, because there are a lot of like recent updates from Google. I think after every update, SEO is somehow changing, but it also stayed the same. So
Yeah.
I think Google is just usually like fighting with bad practices, or some shady practices are just like stopping working with us, just are not working after a particular update. And yeah, I think if you have a strong technical SEO foundation, great content with great authors, with new insights and nice PR backlinks, you can't go wrong with SEO. But to go back to your second question, how can we increase the web traffic from backlinking? I'm not sure if you're talking about like referral traffic or like improving positions with backlinking. If you're talking about improving positions, I would focus on getting really good links that are natural, usually by doing digital PR, which is like a very good strategy for getting links. Or for referral, also I think also having strong links from digital PR can also increase referral traffic. So it applies to both.
Okay, great. Next, we have a pretty long question. So I was wondering if the best option, Patrick is gone beyond the question. Goodbye, Patrick. I was wondering if maybe it's better to answer it in a DM, because I think it even cuts it, so we cannot read it all.
Okay. Yeah. And also it's very particular to his case.
Yeah. So Prabhat, drop us
Yeah.
a DM, and we're going to be happy to answer, because I think it's cutting, and it's gonna take a long time to answer it. So waiting for your message, man. So moving on. No. Is that what it is? We have Sanjana Gupta. Where is it? Okay. No, we have. Is there an automated way to handle? Okay, we have Usman, which is pretty shorter. Handling technical SEO for large sites can be tough. I recently had to manually canonicalize over 1,000 URLs and unindex URLs by going into plugin for every page. Is there an automated way to handle these tasks, or some tech we can use to make this easier?
100%. Like,
yeah.
Why do you canonize 1,000 pages? Like, what happened there? Canonize. So there, let's say like that there's these canonical pages that there's, I don't know what is the scenario there.
Yeah, it really depends on the like technical background or like the technical stack that you have on the website. What tools do you have like access to? And yeah, it really depends on that. If you want to de-index some URLs from Google, you can always use URL removal tool from Google Search Console, which is free to use and pretty simple to do. And to like I don't know, implement canonicals or all of that. It really depends on the technical stack and what skills and what abilities do you have to what can you do to automate those things, because it's all pretty much just software development.
Okay, great. So we have another question from Sanjana Gupta. Again, it's not visible on StreamYard, but it was on LinkedIn. It's pretty straightforward. Oops, where is it? Sanjana Gupta is asking, I would love to know a bit more about how rolling out pagination has contributed to a spike in web traffic. It has.
It contributed to improving crawling. The web traffic, because this is a large business, large site, the web traffic, I think, improved in the upcoming weeks. But again, the site suffered from other issues, so we went back. So it's up and down. It's hard to like dictate like if this particular fix improved the traffic, if the site is living all the time and the new stuff is popping up all the time. We can be sure that this fix improved crawling and indexing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we have 3 more questions that for some reason are totally invisible on StreamYard, but I'm sure they have been done before 5. I would like to answer them. Guys, let's go ahead.
Sure, just go ahead.
Okay, so we have Deepika Jayaraj. Yeah, she did the same question that she did at the beginning, but this time it's very easy to understand. So I'm pinging it here. Deepika. Okay. Here it is. Is it necessary to update sitemap for every blog or service page we publish?
It's a good practice.
Yeah. It's not,
Without sitemaps, you can still rank. Sitemaps are an added feature. If you have the right internal structure in the website, Google will find your pages. But of course, if you help with the sitemap, that will be very welcome all the time.
yes.
And again, it's based on the stack, technological stack plugins or whatever you have in your website. Whenever you create a page, obviously what you expect is that the sitemaps get automatically updated. That sometimes does not happen. I've seen many websites that are built hard coded or very with their own technical framework, and there's no automation because the website is hard coded. There's no CMS. So in that case, you need to add it manually. But again, if you have a good internal structure strategy, it should be crucial. It will be optional and beneficial, but not crucial.
We can move on.
Yeah,
We have
one
next-
person will answer each.
Well, we have a new question from Gulam Nabi. How to fix
How many do we have left?
Two. Just two.
True. Awesome.
Gulam Nabi is asking how to fix 404 error pages that can't exist on our site and even doesn't have any traffic.
So you don't, I imagine you don't have them in the internal structure. If you do, don't link them internally. So don't link internally to your 404 pages. And thus they will just be crawled through like Google old links or like that database that they will gather. And to make it be crawled even less, you can either redirect them if they have like a correct equivalent on your current structure, or if you removed them, like those pages don't have any equivalent on your current structure, you can change the 404 status code to 410, which is status code gone, and those pages are crawled way less often by Google because this is like a 100% sure information for search engines that this page does not exist and won't exist anymore.
Great. The next question is by Shaikat Rai. Python and GS. How important to learn these languages as a technical SEO? What's your take on this?
Learn coding tomorrow, yesterday, today. Doesn't matter. Learn coding. I wouldn't recommend going to Python straight away if you never coded. Don't go to Python because the mental structure that you need to have to go to it is rather complex. So I would recommend go first to HTML, CSS. Those two, so you know how to build a website, how everything falls together, and you understand pretty much the principles. Do those two languages, which they are not even languages; they are just I don't know how to call them, but they are not programming languages. Then you can jump into JavaScript, but that's a serious jump. But having HTML and CSS in your head, that will help you to do the jump as much easier. With JavaScript, I would say that with those three, I would say that you can get 90% of the technical SEO issues, the understanding of all the technical SEO issues. Then if you really want to go into an analysis, automation, scripting, learn Python. But then you will be like the top 0.5% of SEO professionals out there. But don't go to Python first. Go to HTML and CSS. And they are fundamental for being an SEO, not from being a technical SEO. It's for being an SEO or a person.
Great. So, just a very nice thank you message from Shaikat Rai. Thank you for doing this and answering the questions. It was a fantastic session. Loved it. Jairo, Artur, Patrick. Thank you, Shaikat, for joining us. Thank you for everybody who is still here with us.
Is there people?
Yeah, 14,
amazing
14 believers.
Heroes. Awesome. Thank you very much for joining, guys. I hope I was valuable at some point, and looking forward to more.
Yeah, absolutely. And see you in a few hours on LinkedIn in our posts. We're going to plan another webinar soon. We're going to keep you posted. So thank you to
Yeah.
everybody who has
Yeah.
joined.
Yeah.
So this is it, guys.
See you next time, people.
Thank you very
Bye
much.
bye.